Thanks, appreciate it.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the Ray Carr Show is the legendary actor Barry Bostwick. Barry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you didn't say veteran actor. That's usually what I get. He's a veteran actor, Barry Bostwick. This is good. Thank you.
Well, you're a tremendous actor, and it's always great to have somebody of your stature here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you. I've never been to Cleveland before, and I was looking forward to this trip an awful lot. And then I looked out the window of my hotel, and I saw this massive expanse of water. And I was wondering, well, what the hell's that?
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's a big bunch of water out there. And then I had to look up on the map where we were. This is quite a place.
Oh, it's very nice, and we have a lot of great celebrities here, including yourself. And, you know, when you started acting, Barry, when was the first time you realized that acting was going to be a big part of your life?
Probably when I started making a little money, and I realized that I could actually pay my rent, and I wouldn't have to do anything else. Well, I never thought I would never have to do anything else, but I've been very fortunate to not have to do anything else for close to 50 years. So but what the first thing, probably in college, when I was doing shows in college, and I realized that there was nothing else that I could actually do. I had no talent for anything other than for what I do.
Now, acting is a very tough world to live in, but you've been able to survive for many, many years. What are some of your favorite roles that you've played?
Probably, certainly Brad Majors in Rocky Horror Picture Show. I created the part of Danny Zuko in Grease on Broadway.
Yes, right.
A lot of the things I've done on the stage. I did a show called The Robber Bridegroom, where I played the lead in that, and got a Tony Award in 1978 or something. And Spin City, the thing that I did with Michael J. Fox. I love that show. That was 6 years of my life, and I've been very fortunate. And then I come and I do these things occasionally, and we do a screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we get the crowds in again from 42 years ago, and it's exciting. My career has spanned many, many decades, and I have a lot of things I'm very proud of.
You never get tired of it. I mean, you're able to come back and kind of make everything look fresh and feel fresh, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you keep on doing interesting work, and I try to only do things that are challenging to me. Right now I'm doing a show called Still the King with Billy Ray Cyrus on the CMT, and I'm doing a show called Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce on Bravo, and a bunch of independent things. Yeah, so I've been busy. We just finished up Still the King 2 days ago in Nashville, and I'm going to go next week to Vancouver, and we'll finish up Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. So
that's good. That's good to hear that you're busy.
I'll keep moving. I just keep moving. I have to. I got 2 kids in college.
I know what that's like. Barry, what's been the most challenging role throughout your acting career that you really had to work the hardest at?
Wow. Maybe a show called George Washington. I did a miniseries for CBS back in the early 80s where I played George Washington, and we did an 8-hour miniseries. And that was challenging because of what was expected. And George Washington had really never been explored as a real breathing human being. And to bring the humanity to him and also the iconic George Washington was an interesting balance to have to ride.
He was a complex character.
Well, he was, and a very sort of quiet man, and so he wasn't very dynamic. Dynamic things happened to him, but he wasn't a dynamic personality.
Yeah, In fact, if it wasn't for maybe the crossing of the Delaware going over the Trenton, they may have lost the war. Right?
Oh, many times, many times. Yeah, no, he was the wisdom of Washington was that he'd surrounded himself with a lot of good people and a lot of people who he listened to, and took their advice, and he was a real good chairman, I think. as well as a president.
He saw good things in other people, and he was smart enough to listen to them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Is there any role that you haven't done yet that you've always wanted to do?
No, I wouldn't even know what that would be. I mean, I'm not a Shakespearean actor. It hasn't. If they write it, I'll play it. You know.
That's good.
Yeah, if they write it, I'll come do it.
How about music? Throughout your career, you've heard a lot of different music, and do you have any particular favorite music?
You know, I listen to Baroque classical music.
Bach.
Yeah, I do a lot of Baroque music, a lot of
Chamber music.
Yeah, a lot of chamber music. I use that as something that engages the back part of my mind when I'm trying to learn lines and stuff. I'll have that always playing in the background, and it does something to my psyche that I'm able to really get into the fantasy of what I do for a living. And so, yeah, Baroque. I listen to a lot of Baroque music.
I might start doing that myself. That's good stuff. Barry, thank you for being on the Ray Carr Show. I've always admired your work. You're wonderful.
Thank you.